I'm Fox 4 meteorologist Andrew Shipley, and nearly 2 years ago, Hurricane Ian made landfall here in Southwest Florida, and that forced the city of Sanibel to do a major beach renourishment project. Unfortunately, that beach renourishment project negatively affected our nesting sea turtles, and now we're learning it negatively affected our nesting shorebirds as well.
This year is actually our first year on record since we started our shorebird monitoring program in 2002. It's our first year on record with no shorebirds fledging off of Sanibel or Captiva.
Audrey Albright is a shorebird biologist with the Sanibel Captiva Conservation Foundation. She says the beach renourishment changed the natural habitat for birds like our snowy plovers.
Normally they need a lot of camouflage, so shells, rack, debris, and plants for their chicks to hide under. They need to be able to camouflage their nest and their chicks and themselves from predators.
And while the beach was being covered by trucked-in sand, that camouflage was lost. That camouflage also was home to the food for the plovers.
The invertebrates that they need, so insects and marine invertebrates, they're not available to eat when there's no place for them either.
Despite this, Albright is not discouraged for next season.
Doesn't necessarily mean the birds are gone or anything like that. They're just choosing to nest elsewhere, which is kind of unusual actually because they have pretty strong site fidelity.
And when the birds return next year, the beach will likely look more natural. We're already starting to see the mixing of the local and renourished sand.
It does look like after the last few storms, the sand is kind of mixing, so that more natural sand with the shells and these rack lines, so that line of old seaweed behind us from that high tide, that's creating more suitable habitat for the plovers.
And while the news was sour for Sanibel beaches, the Sanibel Causeway did see its first least terns fledge in 30 years.
The least terns and black skimmers did try to nest there for about 30 years. They were very unsuccessful. They were often run over or washed off by heavy rains.
Despite the ongoing construction, the birds were given their space and were successful. And as we transition from nesting season to migration season, Albright says it's important to give our birds space because many of them have traveled thousands of miles to arrive here in Southwest Florida. On Sanibel, meteorologist Andrew Shipley, Fox 4.